as you know, upstanding, outstanding citizens of our country, but in addition to that, and arguably more importantly to me, they are just awesome members and leaders of the Windsor Village Church family. Particularly, they are blazing the trail most effectively and efficiently in providing all types of services for our veterans, not just in Windsor, but throughout the greater Houston community. Won't you please join me in thanking the Lord for Sergeant Harris, and Captain Walker. Come on, show them some love if you will, please. Come on, they deserve it. Make them turn red. They worked very, very hard. And thank you for that. In our church, we try to put everybody to work. And these two folk have certainly led the way. And they know the nuances of this. I don't. I've been on vacation. But I do want to thank the Lord for the platinum sponsor. And I don't even know the name of the platinum. I just met the young man. And let's make him. Come on, tell us what that is and who he is, and say something about the platinum. I think the platinum sponsor deserves some.
Yes, and this is not the first time they have sponsored the service. This is the second year, Pastor. U.S. Family Health Plan has sponsored our veterans ministry.
Paid the whole bill.
What a blessing. Yes, Anthony Mathis is the representative, and he actually is going to speak in a few minutes. Yes, if that's okay. But if you don't know U.S. Family Health Plan, you know what they do. They support veterans, and they provide insurance care to the uniformed services, military retirees, and Anthony will tell you more. But thank you, and we're going to thank you all day.
And we thank you once again, as well, for coming. One final little note, my dad served in the Army, and he was 80 years old before I realized he served in the Battle of the Bulge. He had been dead 2 years before I realized that he lied to me, but he really didn't lie to me. I asked him, I said, Daddy, what did you do in World War II? He said, I worked on telephone poles. Well, you know, I asked that question in high school. I let it go and kept on going. Come to find out, he was doing some Secret Service behind the scene, interpreting enemy line communication stuff. And he received some awards, whatever that fancy word is, posthumously or whatever. And when I get to heaven, I'm going to thank him again for his service. My father-in-law served two terms, is that right? Two tours is what I want to say, thank you, in Vietnam, retired as Lieutenant Colonel, Frederick Turner. So while I did not have the honor of serving in the military, the two men I love the most certainly did, which helps to capture my heart for the appreciation that I have for each of you who serve. And I thank the Lord for your families who sacrifice as well. In fact, let's do this. For all the family members, not the vets, family members, won't you please stand? We don't have time to forget. And some of you are being honored today. We thank you. Come on, give them a round of applause, please. Thank you so much for your service, for your sacrifice. Amen. And
I'm going to ask our chaplains to stand. They're the ones who are out there doing the work, and they can introduce themselves. This is just some of our team.
I am a member of the interdisciplinary team. My name is Father Innocent. I'm specifically chaired for all the chaplains, but in a particular need for the Catholic veterans. Many of you call us at odd hours when they are passing away, and we also support each and every member of the family. We respect your sacrifices, and I say thank you, and keep the mission going. So the mission continues. It doesn't end after service.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have a specialty area, Chaplain?
Yes.
What is your specialty?
I just finished advanced certificate in palliative care.
Palliative care. Palliative care. Praise God.
Hello, good morning. My name is Eldred Moy. I am a chaplain at the Michael E. DeBakey Veterans Affairs Medical Center. And it's an honor to be here. When I look out across this room, I say to myself, at some point, probably 50% or greater of the people in this room raised their right hand. And they said, I do solemnly swear or affirm to support the Constitution of this United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That's a statement. And we honor that statement by being here today, because a statement was made to support. Now these vendors, even us here at the Michael E. DeBakey VA Medical Center, we're here now to support. The one who pledged to support. We will support you. My clinical specialty is mental health, drug and alcohol addiction, and most recently, solid organ transplant.
Wow. Wow.
We can speak to not only the veteran, but the veteran's family. I have my daughter here with me today. 26 years, she's been there for 21 of them.
All right.
She knows me better than I sometimes know myself. So we're here for you, the veteran, and for those who love and support the veteran. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chaplain Moy, what branch of service did you serve in?
26 years in the world's finest Navy.
I had to ask him because I served 25 years in the Air Force. Good morning, my name is Chaplain Ann Lewin. I was actually born and raised here in Houston, Texas, so I'm very happy to be home. One of my greatest fears growing up is that I would wind up in a mental health institution, and I am actually a mental health chaplain on the 6th floor. I know that a lot of veterans don't like going up to the 6th floor. But that's where you're going to find me. It's wonderful. I also work on the 4th floor, and that's the oncology floor B. And I love it. I love what I do. When I was going through training, because I have worked at the Marion, Illinois VA and also the St. Louis VA. And I remember as I was training to be a VA chaplain, I had a supervisor ask me, how do you approach veterans? How do you approach patients that have all kinds of issues, whether they're, whether they've been diagnosed with, terminal illness, mental health issues, it could be anything, PTSD, drug, alcohol. And I remember making a statement saying, I approach each veteran as, with that knowledge of the sacredness of the soul. Because that's really how I see them. Yes, they have a body, but I'm dealing with a soul. And that's how I try to see each veteran. And so I'm in the business of repairing souls. Amen? Wow. And so, again, thank you. It's wonderful to be here. What an honor and a privilege. And I'm looking forward to getting to know each and every one of you. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. A funny story, as we get ready for lunch, and we're also waiting for Congressman Green. I don't know what the timeline is on him. I know that he will be here, though, because he's been a staunch supporter of this ministry. Since I last saw you last year, I fell ill. I had a spinal cord injury and had to have emergency surgery. It has taken me out of work for a year. I have not worked for a year, but you can't tell it by my face or by my attitude, because I am highly favored and abundantly blessed. So for even bringing me to the VA, for having the VA to even utilize for my health care. And when I got up on my knees, I saw several of the chaplains, even Chaplain Montgomery, and we all joined each other in prayer. And then we went into the chaplain's offices and talked about partnering and collaborating on events like this. And guess what? My pain stopped.
Representing U.S. Family Health Plan, it's a pleasure and an honor to be here again for a second year to sponsor this great event. And last year when we were here, I didn't know anyone in this room, probably a few faces, and I remember, wow, 12 months already. I remember just really speaking about U.S. Family Health Plan and what U.S. Family Health Plan was about as far as working with veterans and military families here in the community. And it's a health care plan. It's a really good plan. It's affordable. It's similar to a TRICARE. It's a TRICARE Prime option with additional enhanced benefits. One thing that I mentioned last year is that U.S. Family Health Plan, they were really eager getting out in the community. And that's where I came on board, is a lot of community outreach and wanting to work with different events, work with different programs. And I would say over the last 12 months, over the year, I think we've been able to accomplish a lot of those goals, because now as I look around this room, I see a lot of familiar faces. I see a lot of organizations that we have worked with. And it's been an honor, and glad that we're able to sponsor this event again this year. We ask that you continue the good work that you're doing, and if we get an opportunity to sponsor you, continue that work so that U.S. Family Health Plan can continue to grow, so that we can continue sponsoring these type of events and different programs such as CHAMP. I see Sam, my guy here, right here, he does a lot of great work. Ramona, Luz, I can go on and on and see, like I said, the number of faces. So thanks for having us today. We're glad we're able to sponsor this event, and looking forward to next year as well. Thank you.
I work out of the St. Louis regional office. I recently moved here to Houston under a different agency. I'm with Homeland Security now. To talk about, I'm not with the Inspector General of Homeland Security, but to talk about TSA pre-checks instead of DHS. If you have a passport of any kind, or passport period, you can get global entry. It's just $15 more.
Wow.
And you get port entry and all that included as expedited service. So not just TSA pre-check at the airports, but also if you're traveling by ship, when you're going on cruising and things like that, you can get that as well, just $15 more. So that's a shameless plug. But with the my military service was with the Air Force, and a lot of the benefits that I experienced through my work at the regional office in St. Louis, and helping veterans along the way get the most out of their military service that they can. One of the things that I've seen a lot of was older veterans, those that served in Vietnam and things like that, not taking advantage of all the benefits that the VA offers to them. And I wanted to make sure that we have the opportunity to talk to the older veterans and the young veterans as well about every single benefit. This includes compensation pension. This also includes your education benefits, things like that, to make sure they're aware of the benefits that they have available to them, so they can get everything that they need. So,
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Jamar Johnson. I'm the son of Marilyn Harris. I'm also a military kid. I've had many blessings come from my mom serving in the military. There's so many experiences that it's really hard to name a lot of them off top of my head. I'll probably have to say that I've done a lot of summer camps. I've traveled all around the world. Thanks to my mom's service, it's Operation Purple Camp. It's a summer camp for military kids where you go out and you find ways to express yourself in other ways, to talk to people, to do service, to have fun. It was in Hawaii,
New Mexico,
been all types of different places. All for
we
free.
send your kids for free.
As well as down to my education. I'm currently a senior at Prairie View A&M University.
All right.
I'm an agriculture major.
All right.
I've never taken out a single student loan.
Houston is an amazing city, the second largest veteran population in the U.S., and About a year ago, like I said, we started working with all the veterans and the military families here in Houston, and I was just doing my job. I was just, for me, AM Management Company, and have an opportunity to work with U.S. Family Health Plan, it was an opportunity to work with a company which furthers our missions and our goal as far as having a positive social impact in the community. And that just comes from our mission and our understanding that, I say Houston's a great city, we live in a great state, we live in a great country, we have a great planet, great world to live in, and we're all one. We're all connected. Believe it or not, we're all connected, we're all one, and I want everyone to remember that there's more good than there is bad. I don't care what the media says. I'm hearing about what they're saying out there. It's actually more good than there is bad. So when you're flipping through the channel and you're watching the news, just refocus on there's more good out there than there's bad. And we need to highlight it. But we do have our challenges. And with those challenges, that's where, like I said, we're just going to work every day and we're trying to address those challenges and make some changes. And I thank you on behalf of the U.S. Family Health Plan for this award. But more importantly, more than anything, I want to thank everyone in this room. Okay, round of applause for everyone. U.S. Family Health Plan is a great company. They're doing a lot of great things. But more importantly is, I hold their feet to the fire. Basically letting them know that there's a lot of great organizations here in Houston, and they're doing a lot of great work and they need some support. So I go to them, I tell them, like, we got Sam, we got Lou, we got Mary, Liz, Mr. King. I see everyone doing all the work, and they have some great initiatives, and either they're just getting started, or they've been very active, or they even have an idea. We just need to keep it going. All right, we need to get it started, we need to keep it going. And I ask that, you know, even though we have a lot of challenges, and this type of event is to address certain issues like PTSD, homelessness, faith, jobs, that the key thing is just keep going, okay? And don't stop, keep going. And we work with a lot of veterans, so I want to take this time right now. I'm going to turn it up a notch a little bit, all right? I'm going to change it a little bit and get you guys the energy that we talked about. We need some action. So I don't know if you're going to be ready for this, but all right, so you all heard about the bucket challenge, am I right? Over the last couple of years where they dumped the ice buckets on everyone. And they were able to raise a lot of money and help a lot of people. I was surprised, like, the impact of social media. So recently, I heard about 22 killed. And I was like, wow. And I actually heard about it about a year ago. We were just getting started. And I started thinking about, a lot of people are saying, well, yeah, there's really 22 people committing suicide every day. Is it 17, 18? So whatever it is, it's an issue. And somebody's taking initiative to change it. So they have a goal. And they're trying to get 22 million push-ups from the community, from the whole world, to decrease PTSD. So with U.S. Family Health Plan, and the plan that they have, they help with mental health. And I know that they're looking to help with decreasing suicide rates and helping individuals with PTSD. And I thought about this and I was like, take action. Okay, so Sam, can I ask you to come up on stage, please?
And this becomes the push-up stage.
Here we go. All right, so. This reaches the media. I really do. I hope this reaches the media. And this is who I'm calling out. There we go. I love this. This is who I'm calling out. say their names, but they know who they are. All right? There we go. There we go. I love this. I love this.
Pastor Connie, I need, Ms. Watkins, I need my VA and Prairie View nurses. If you are a nurse from anywhere, come on up here.
All right, so I challenge all the executives at U.S. Family Health Plan. I'm gonna challenge Vince Woolfork of the Houston Texans. I would love to see him in them overalls and them boots give us 22 push-ups. And last but not least, the Honorable Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner. Hopefully you see this and he can join us. And let's do it. So when we start this, we need everybody's participation, counting along with us these 22 push-ups. You ready? All right. See the action? All right, so let's walk out these doors today. Let's take this home. Let's give it to our kids. Let's give it to our spouses, our girlfriends, our boyfriends, our kids, the community. And let's use the power of numbers. Let's make some changes. It's up to us, and no one else. And that's what we're about. When U.S. Family Health Plan is about, financial, social impact, hoping that we can help those who are in need and overcome some challenges.
Was instrumental in working with the Community Development Corporation to give away a mortgage-free home to a disabled veteran and his family in Pasadena. Is Mr. Trevino here? Mr. Trevino, he may not have made it yet. So they received a blessing, a mortgage-free home. So that week I had attended the American Legion auxiliary meeting, and I told them about the event. They gathered their resources together, and during the turning over of the keys, they were there on site. In less than a week, they had a basket of necessities and a gift card for this disabled veteran's family. They work, they serve, and we want to honor them for being tireless leaders of faith and character in serving Houston's veterans community. They have a long list of what they do, but the American Legion Auxiliary is the largest women's patriotic service organization in the world, and they're dedicated to serving veterans, military, and their families for nearly 100 years. And while I am a woman veteran, I am a war veteran, a disabled veteran, I am honored to be a member of the American Legion Auxiliary Unit 521 in Pasadena, because I love to be around women that work and get things done. Miss Diana King, please come up.
Good afternoon. This is a wonderful honor, but it's not for me, it's for everyone out there who does the work for our veterans, our military, and their families. I'm so proud of what they do. One of the projects that we work on every year and have for the last almost 5 years is that we adopt female veterans to the Houston Healthcare for Homeless Veterans program at the Houston VA. Not just them, but their children for Christmas, making sure they have a wonderful Christmas. We get wish lists from the children, but not always from the female veterans. All they care about is their children being taken care of. We cannot do it ourselves alone because of the cost, but we involve other American Legion Auxiliary units who support the Houston VA. So they come from all the way from Willis to Beaumont, Galveston, and west of here. We also work the Christmas gift shop at the Houston VA. How many of you know about the Christmas gift shop? All right, this is where we go. It's usually the first week of December, and we provide gifts, and the veterans come down from the floor, or if they cannot, we fulfill their wish list. their family at home. They cannot, of course, go out and leave the hospital to go shopping for a Christmas gift. So they come down and pick out what they want, and they fill out a card. We wrap the gifts, we box the gifts, and ship the gifts to their families at home. We play bingo with veterans, homeless veterans. Actually, that's permanent housing for them now, but they stay at the DeGeorge at Union Station across from Minute Maid Park. And we play bingo with them, provide prizes, and we also provide, cookies and punch, but most importantly, we talk to them one-on-one.
That program, and maybe several other people in the room, American Leadership Forum, look it up. We had a distinct experience of climbing a 10,000-foot mountain last year. We made it up and we made it down. During that experience, I just really saw Cynthia's heart. She is a woman of incredible faith. She cares so much about people. And she has to make really hard decisions in her role. I've never told you this, Cynthia, but we went to talk once, and I just thought you were just a really nice social worker. And I looked, she told me where she worked, and so I looked on the website, and so Cynthia's standing there, and I'm like, my God, she's the CEO. I just know you are just a wonderful person, and the organization, any organization you lead, is going to be excellent, and it's going to meet the needs of the people you serve. So come on up, and this is Cynthia Colbert. She is with Catholic Charities, the Art Sciences of Galveston, Houston, and she is not just a social worker. She is a highly blessed and favored CEO.
And when Marilyn let us know that our Lotus program for women veterans was being honored today, I said, well, we are there. Count us in. I have with me today Olivia Bush and some other members of our program. If you could join me up here on stage, I'd love for you to meet the program staff. Mother of 4 children. Through a range of circumstances, she ended up homeless. And she used up all of her remaining resources living in hotels and then ended up in her car. Now, she showed us the car, and she kept as normal a routine for her children and herself as possible. But imagine 4 children, their backpacks, their clothes, getting them to school, getting them to work, and trying to stay safe while living in her car on the streets. But somewhere along the line, she heard about the Lotus program for female veterans. And as part of our program, which is a holistic range of services, we call them wraparound. We want to wrap the woman with services and support so she can get back on her own 2 feet. And so many of them, once they do, they pay it forward, as you've heard today, not just from our women, but from those that you heard from. So she was able to live at our short-term shelter for about 90 days. I'm happy to tell you that she is back on her feet. She's living independently with her 4 children. She's in school and she's working. She's probably got a little bit of the fire that Marilyn's got as well. And these 3 women are just some of the staff who make it possible. I'd love for you to just hear a little bit from Olivia, because really when I came 3.5 years ago, I didn't know much about the needs of our veterans, and especially female veterans, and really the seed that was planted in Olivia's heart has grown now. We're a bush, but friends, we want to be a forest.
Thank you so much, Cynthia, for the introduction, and thank you for honoring Catholic Charities and what we're doing for women veterans in Houston. I also want to thank U.S. Family Health Plan and Anthony for talking about veteran suicide. You may not know that female veteran suicide is on the rise. Where you see male veteran actually homelessness going down, female veteran homelessness is also on the rise. And those are despicable numbers that we're ashamed of, but our program is trying to combat those numbers. Women veterans, like Cynthia said, often feel isolated. They often don't know where to go for help. And so our goal is to be a beacon of light in Houston and around the country, so that no woman veteran has to be in her car homeless, staying underneath a Walmart sign, because that's the only place she feels safe. A woman doesn't have to give up her children to a family member or to a neighbor because she can't find shelter, because shelters don't take women with children. A woman veteran doesn't have to stuff down the trauma that she undergoes while she's in the military. We see a lot of women who experience trauma that goes back 20, 30 years and never told a soul. And that's not right. She has an opportunity, she should have the opportunity to heal just like every other veteran in this room. So our goal is to make sure that we are that helping hand to help those women move on and to survive and to thrive and live their best life. So I want to thank you for that opportunity. Thank you for all the women veterans that work for a program that believed in the vision that started 2007. And since 2012, Catholic Charities has been that. My dad is an Army vet, and he always said, walk softly and carry a big stick. And Catholic Charities is that big stick in the force. It's going to help us combat all of these issues for women veterans. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Catholic Charities.
I worked at the VA regional office for 16 years, helping veterans, and I would see how there's so many resources out there, and so many veterans that needed them, but they weren't connecting. And so I thought, somebody should start a veterans newspaper. Somebody should do that, right? And so I think that God saw my passion and He saw my desire to help veterans, but not just on a small level, on a bigger scale. And He gave me this idea, but it was overshadowed by fear and self-doubt. English is my second language, so I thought, well, it requires a lot of writing. I'm not a journalist. Other than the required English courses, I've never taken a class on writing. Somebody else should do that. A paper requires pictures. Besides the camera on my phone, I don't even own a camera. I don't know how to take pictures, Photoshop. I don't know how to do any of that. Somebody else should do it. A paper requires a lot of things that I'm not. So it's somebody else's job to do it. But like Jonah, God sets you on a path, and we think, oh, somebody else will go on that path. I'm going to travel the path of least resistance. 4 years later, I was visiting one of my Vietnam veterans who had fallen ill, and I was talking to his wife about my idea, and I don't even know how the conversation came up because it's not something that I shared with a lot of people. And so she says, Luz, have you thought about why somebody else hasn't done it? And I said, no, not really. She says, it's because God's waiting for you to do it. I don't know how else or what else would be. It's the paper that's uniting everybody together, the old, the young, the women, the men, the Jewish, the Catholic, the everybody. If you're a veteran, it's your paper. And so I'm really, really excited about it. So I tell you, if you have an idea, if God has planted a seed in your head, in your heart, do it. Just do it. Stop thinking about all the reasons why not to do it, and just do it. Step out in faith, pray about it, and just do it. Now, the biggest piece of advice I can give you is stay the course, because oftentimes we think, well, Lord, you gave me the idea, and I'm doing what you're asking me to do, so it should be easy, right? Why am I having all these struggles and trials and all this tribulation, and I'm just, okay, I don't know what I got myself into, I'm just going to quit. But that's where faith comes in. Faith in veterans, that's the message today. Just keep the course, and if God led you to it, He will lead you through it. Because a year later, I'm testament. I don't have a staff, it's just me. So if people call and say, can I speak to the editor? Sure, please hold. Hi.
Pastor, I am always honored to be with the pastor. You know, pastors Kirby John and Suzette Caldwell, they do so much for our community. We can never thank them enough, but the least we can do is say thank you. Please, let's say thank you to the pastor and to his lovely wife. I don't see her, but she's always with me. You don't always see her, but she's always there. I am so honored to be here, Pastor. Thank you so much for what you're doing to help us continue to remember our veterans. This church has a great ministry dedicated to our veterans. We, through our good offices in the Congress, provide veterans with their ribbons and medals, and we try to do this on an annual basis because many times veterans don't get the ribbons that they've been accorded, and they don't always keep them. So we try to replace them, and if you know of someone who needs some help, we'll be honored. Some people may join because they'd like to get a good education. Others because they want to get away from the ultimate thing that you do is you say to your country, I'm willing to make the ultimate sacrifice. And we should always remember that we don't sleep well at night simply because we're in a cozy environment. We sleep well at night because somewhere there's a soldier on duty. Somewhere there's a sailor at sea. Somewhere there's a B-1 bomber ready to fly. And somewhere there's a leatherneck Marine ready to die. That's why you sleep well at night. So never forget that. And let us always do all that we can, which is why if Pastor Kirby John, we can spend $1 trillion to put them in harm's way. We can spend whatever it takes when they get back to make sure they get the proper housing, they get proper health care, they get good jobs. We can't forget the people who go out there on the front line for us. If we forget them, we will lose the opportunity to have all that we have in this country because they protect liberty and justice for all. They make real these greatest noble American ideals. God bless you and God bless the United States.
In anonymous ministry, no, we were not on cocaine and have not been on cocaine. But we do work with people with an addictions. I am an addictions nurse, and Janice is a counselor, a leadership teacher, and all kinds of other things. And so the point is, Janice has always had a heart to serve, from being a newscaster in New York to being a corporate exec, philanthropist, MBA, leadership trainer, and mountain climber. Mountain climber. Janice is also in the American Leadership Forum, and just somebody that's always serving others in many, many ways. Your heart is golden. Golden, and we love you. And Janice served in the Army Reserve, and believe me, that is just the beginning of her service. And what I want to say about Janice and Connie, the reason why they're my sisters, they're single mothers, and they're doing all this. They're doing all this. So you have been my role model. You are why I stand here, because I've looked up to you. And that's how I was able to stand up. Thank you, Janice. Her husband has passed, but we are here with you, Val. We are here with you, and so is he. He knows your heart. You had a heart for him and a heart for veterans like him that are living or their memory. And her son that just finished serving in the Air Force, Val came home especially early to attend this with us. Let me tell you, the environments where Val gets up and says these things, these people don't necessarily want to hear all that veterans talk, but she is determined, intentional, she says it, she loves our community and advocates for us in ways we cannot imagine. And let me say one more thing. Val has taught me most of what I know about government contracting. And so when I go other places around the world, I'm not embarrassed, because you prepare me and so many others well. In her current role, she has touched the lives of many and made many people economically comfortable. Let me say it like that. God bless you. We have today Lori Kaufman. She intervenes, she intercepts. In her role, now they're finally letting her out more. In her role, well, she was doing this from a phone, a fax, and a desk. She was doing more than most people were doing. But now she's getting out, doing more outreach in the area. But let me tell you, a heart to care and serve. This has been going on for how many years? 2 minutes. Come on, over 20, right? Over 20 years, okay? Just start counting. Over 20 years. You know, while her focus was on women veterans, they did not always give her more than an hour a week to focus on this, but she found a way to change lives. She found a way to change lives. There's 2 little children sitting in the back. They go to college free because of her, and a whole bunch of other things. And I'm sure many of the rest of you in this room have benefited from Lori's work. Your work has made them approachable. They can reintegrate into society. They're not bogged down by the ills of military service. You're a healer, and you must keep healing. Because the people I know, not only them, but everybody they touch, from going through a drive-through, to a store, to a Rockets game, you went there with them because they've been appropriate there, because you taught them how to just feel human. And we appreciate you today. All you've done for all these years. I know several of your colleagues are on the stage. They've talked to me about your work. You're a tireless leader of faith and character, and you can cry here. Monday, he loves you. That's the bottom line about work. He loves you. He loves what he does, and he does it with excellence. And it's been because of his faith he's been able to endure you. Quite frankly, I'm talking about veterans. You know we can be difficult. Yes, but what we love about Wolf is his anecdotes, his long stories. But we know he will answer the phone and meet our needs, and we thank you for that. God bless you.
This 63, the only way they got me here is they said, you get to tell some wolf jokes.
Oh.
I'm not going to do that. I had one announcement though, because I don't know if all the mail gets out. Family Health Plan is doing a mail out for retirees, military retirees. There's an occasion at Ellington on October the 8th. And so if you're not on their mailing list, you can't see it in here. And then, because this is the Olympics time, and because I believe, among other things, in what Paul said,
Houston and the area veterans. Thank you. God bless you.